you're here. Thank goodness, thank goodness. Come, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Okay, we have got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. I know you're only 5 minutes late, but time is money, sweetie. It's really is, okay? We have got so much to cover, like you don't understand. No, we really don't have time for that. You get your coffee after we're done, okay? Like, we can't. We're not waiting in that line. No, okay. Right. I've got everything here. This is our first meeting, so really this is just kind of like a vibe sesh. Like, I need to figure out what the vibe of your wedding is going to be, and kind of discuss some details with you. Yeah, so, first of all, you know my flat rate, right? Yeah, 4,000, yes, okay. So, again, like, I don't want to be a stickler about this, but I'm not getting paid hourly, so I really need you to be, like, on time when we have these meetings, you know, because there's just a lot to do. There's a lot to do, and it's gonna hurt you in the end if you don't give me, like, the full time I need. Okay, just checking. Now, I also wanted to ask, I know last time you said that, that 50K was already kind of pushing it, that you were kind of hoping for more of like a 30K range for the wedding. I'm just checking, we are still sticking with 50K, right? Okay, because like, if you wanted to up it even to 60, like an extra 1,000, it would really go a long way. Or even like an extra, like, yeah, another 10. You know, it really wouldn't make that much of a difference to like you, but it would make a huge difference to the wedding. Really would. Okay, well, let's just do a rough budget right now, and I'll kind of show you what I mean, and you can decide, like, you know, it's totally up to you. Yeah, I mean, again, like, I have a flat rate, so it doesn't make any difference to me, really, but the more I have to work with, like, the nicer things are gonna be, you know what I mean? Yeah, okay. So let's start. I've got venue, that's gonna be 8,000 roughly. These are all rough estimates, okay, because this is just like my rough budget. And this is like, it's gonna include the decor in the venue budget. So like, imagine the difference between 8,000 and 18,000. Like, that is gonna make a huge difference to the kind of decor you can do. Just to keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. Ceremony. We'll keep the ceremony at 1,000. Drinks is going to be about 35,000. Yeah, well, all the money is in the liquor, isn't it? Like, if you want to have an open bar, that's what you're going to have to expect. Although, it's going to be great. We're going to do, you can do the open bar, but you can also do, like, signature cocktails and do the theme for your wedding. It'd be really memorable. Okay, and then rings, 1,000. Well, think about it this way, honey. I know that, like, drinks are well over double that, okay? But the rings is just, it's just the band. It's just the little wedding band. And it's like, how expensive can that be? If you are paying more than $500 for your wedding band, like, what's the point, you know? Like, obviously your engagement ring should be way more than that, way more. Right, yeah, that's normal. But no, we don't need to waste a ton of the budget on something like a wedding band. You know, that should be plenty. Stationery, that'll be about 2,500, I'm thinking. Oh, no. I know that you think that it would be easy to like do your own invites. That's gonna add up to, trust me, the cost of like paper and stamps. And this is like, right, you've got to do save the dates, the invite, the RSVP, the envelope to mail back the RSVP. You're paying for postage both ways unless you're broke. So like it adds up, trust me. I would know. Do you want to like talk through these things as I show you my ideas, or should I keep going down the line? Okay, we'll just go through this first. So gifts and favors, party favors, I'm thinking about 1,000. I don't know what exactly I have in mind. I'll show you my ideas. I'll show you in a minute. Transport, I'm thinking about 1,000. Will that be like flights and stuff as well for family that's like out of town, if you're covering any of that? Food, I'm thinking, you said 100, right? Okay, well, that's really going to depend, sweetie. Well, is this including, like, is kids included in the $8,000? Like, is this going to be a kids free thing, or? Well, because the kids will eat a little bit less if they're included, so like maybe we could squeeze a few more, but well, I don't know. I'd have to talk to Vinny. He's the one who does the catering. I'll put a note in and I'll ask him, okay? But do not get your hopes up on more than a 100-person wedding, okay? You've got to limit it because otherwise it's gonna be gross. Okay. Cake, 1,000. Now I set aside $4,000 for attire, but I need you to keep in mind this is you and the groom, and it is also hair and makeup. No, obviously not. No. We're not paying for bridesmaids. No. No way. They should know that that's what they're doing. Like, it should be their honor, right? Like, no. That's just you and the groom. Okay. And then flowers, we'll do it 35. Entertainment, 40. Me, obviously, the 40. Photos, you did say you wanted the videographer, whatever. Yeah, okay. So that's going to be about $5,000. And then I always set aside a bit for like miscellaneous things or an emergency. If somebody cancels or something, that's going to be $2,500. Okay, so that's everything. If we're still sticking with the 50K, which again, like even 60K, I just want you to think about it. Yeah, that's fine. Talk to your fiance. That's cool. That's fine. Okay. I've got quite a bit to show you. Like I said, this is kind of like the vibes session. I've got to try to figure out like what kind of wedding you're going for. I know we discussed over the phone a little bit, but it's always better to kind of like chat in person. So just give me a second and I'll pull up on my phone some of the ideas I had. Let's start with, should we start with venue? Okay. Now, I needed, actually, wait. God, I'm so scatterbrained today. It's like, even just you being that 5 minutes late, like, really threw me off. Oh my God. Okay. Do you have a date yet? You do? Okay. Oh, thank God. Yeah? Do you know what time yet? Okay, well, we can figure that out. I'll put down the rough time for now. And then the reception. Yeah, maybe give yourself like 30 minutes. Or an hour even. Yeah, actually, because we might want to do some photos in between. Yeah. Okay. And I will make a note to talk to Addison. She's the one who does the photos. I'll ask her how much she thinks we need for that, just to make sure we booked enough time in. Okay, perfect. Okay, anyway, back to this. Right, so venue. Alright, so the vibes that you were telling me was kind of like enchanted, like whimsical, kind of fairy vibes. Love that. So there's a few different options. We could go like book a greenhouse and do something that's more like inside the greenhouse, and then you've got the foliage, you've got all the natural like decor, so to speak, that's already going to be there. Or we could book something fully outdoor. We could do more wooded if you wanted to have like bigger trees, lots of shade. Only thing to keep in mind is I might need to talk to Addison again just to make sure that she can do photos. It's really tricky when you've got like the mixed lighting because you've got shady spots and bright spots, and the last thing we want is to like, you know, have really like weird photographs and the settings be all funky. We could do indoor as well, but really with like the vibes you're thinking, I think it needs to be at least mostly outdoor. Like you could do something kind of like this where it's more indoor, but you've got like a larger window or door kind of looking out into the scenery. Maybe especially for the reception. You could get away more with an indoor reception. But for the ceremony, I'm thinking definitely outdoor. Did you have a preference? Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same wavelength. That we've got the same wavelength. And don't worry, I will have a full backup plan for if it happens to be rainy that day. But honestly, don't even worry, because rain on your wedding day is really good luck. Yeah. And it's never rained for me. Not that I've like got bad luck. Anyway, okay, next. You can do the rings yourself, I assume. Oh, stationery, that's right. Let me show you some of my ideas. I had a few. Okay, cool. We've got, for the invites, we could do something that's like really, really enchanted forest vibes, like with little mushrooms maybe. Or we could do like a watercolor one. We could hire somebody to like hand paint and watercolor on them. That would be really cute. And again, remembering that we need to have save the dates as well. I thought too, if we want to make it a little bit more classy, because it's easy to cross the line between what's whimsical and, you know, enchanted fairy forest, but also like it is a wedding. You know what I mean? Like it's not a costume party. It's a serious, like, classy affair. So I was looking at something like this maybe, like the dark forest green, the gold embossed, and the like seals. I think that would look really nice. And again, these are just to like get you thinking like what you might like, you know? Okay. Right, so stationery, and then wedding favors. Really? Every wedding has favors, really. Look, we can try to cut the wedding favors budget a little bit, okay? I mean, I really think about it this way. Okay. You're inviting 100 people-ish, and your budget is 1,000. You still think that's too much? No, honey, no. And plus, you have to think too, these people are giving you gifts and money and stuff for your wedding. Like, you want to give them something else. I know it's like a free party and they get food and stuff, but still. I'll show you. It'll be really cute though. And you can like keep things as keepsakes too. And some of these aren't even that expensive. Okay, so my first idea was you can do the teeny little jars, like the ones that are like tiny like this. And you can do it with like some local honey and do one of the little honey sticks, and you could even have a little gem. You could also, instead of the little bee, what if you did like your initials or the initial of your new last name? See, wouldn't that be so cute? Or you could possibly even hand make something like this, although I do tell my brides, don't take up too much DIY before the wedding day. It's just gonna stress you out. But look at something like this. You could do little like heart-shaped bird feeder things, like just like with seeds, where it's like compacted in with like, I don't know, peanut butter or something. I don't know how they make them, but they're cute. And you could design the little like cards to say something about like the wedding. Kind of fits with the foresty thing, I guess. Ooh, or I liked this idea. You can do some high quality olive oil and like a sprig of fresh rosemary and do like a little tiny jar. That's something that's like useful and practical but cute and classy. I think that would be really nice. But again, we'll discuss more ideas later. I'll look at the budget again. We'll see what we can get away with, okay? Alright. Food, that's right. Okay, so Vinny's great. He does great discounts and he's very timely. I assume you want to do a charcuterie. Well, that's like the only thing people do now, isn't it? It's all the rage is charcuteries, and the money is in the cheese. It really is. Like, the price of cheese with inflation, like, what is even happening there? You know what I mean? Anyway, let me show you some ideas. I got... this is actually from one of my past weddings. You can see we have the whole spread, the little tent. I like to think about the cuisine and how it's going to fit the vibe and the theme. Like this one in particular was a very like, I don't want to say beige, but beige. It was a very beige wedding. So, you know, we had a lot of beige kind of foods. But depending on like your guys' personality, I know that you said you liked pie, that you weren't much of a cake person, which you are having a wedding cake. I'm sorry, that's happening. You don't have to eat it, but like, you can't have a wedding without a cake. Anyway, I saw these and I thought, okay, well that's kind of cute. That could go like next to your charcuterie, like some different kinds of pies, little like cupcake size ones maybe. That's cute. We could do that. And then like some different ideas for buffet. I really can't stress enough though how popular like charcuterie boards are. And like, yeah, half of it might not get eaten. Wedding grazing boards, see like how pretty. It really is for the aesthetic. And I know that $8,000 seems like a lot for like crackers and cheese, but trust me, we can do some like really high-end fancy charcuterie boards. Or like tables. It's more of a table than a board, isn't it? So yeah, I'll talk to Vinny about that. Cakes. So my girl Stella does all my cakes. And I've got a few pictures. I'm sorry, I'm like totally on the wrong tab. Again, I'm like so flustered today. Okay. So there's a lot of different ways we could go with cakes. I'm not really a cake person myself. Like, Stella would know a lot more than me, I swear. Like, I look at cake ideas and I show them to her, and 95% of the time she's like, that's AI. Like, how am I supposed to know that? It all looks the same to me. Anyway, you could do something like this, more like the bark texture. She could totally do that. I'm pretty sure these are real flowers, but like, if you really wanted, we can do frosting flowers too, but real flowers or fake ones tend to look nicer. This style is really popular recently too, where it's kind of like a very thin layer of frosting, so you can kind of like see the layers of cake underneath. I don't know. To me, it looks really unfinished, but like a lot of brides want that kind of laid back sort of look, I guess. But that's totally up to you. And again, keeping in mind we're at about 1,000 for the cake, and that's for 100 people, so we're probably gonna want 2 or 3 layers at least. But we can also go the influencer route, kind of, and we just get a fake cake, like styrofoam. Stella ices it, decorates it, makes it look really cute. We pay like $50 for it, and then the rest of the money just goes towards a big sheet cake that we put in the back. Slice it up, bring it out to guests. When we do the cake cutting, nobody's gonna know the difference, and usually it tastes better, to be honest. Yeah, we can totally do that. I've done it plenty of times, trust me. No one ever notices. You just put like one section, like one slice of real cake in. You still do your cake cutting, you still do the whole thing. Yeah, it works really well. Okay, let's move on from the food because we still have a lot to cover, and I have an appointment after you. So, moving on. Okay. So next we need to look at the dress. Now, I am not going to be there when you pick out the dress, but I do know that, like, George, my guy, he's gonna do your like alterations, and he's like a genius. You're gonna love him. Anyway, so along the lines of like whimsical and stuff, I was looking at something like this, very fairy tale, maybe something fun, like something with a really billowy sleeve could be fun, or you could use something like a really intricate bag. Ooh, that would be nice. And you could also kind of go like more medievally peasant kind of vibes. That's what I'm getting from that. Also kind of fits the vibe of things. This one also kind of along the same lines, like just the style with the different lace. And then you have to think about the kinds of dresses. So like, are you thinking more like A-line, mermaid, sweetheart neckline, plunge, Bardot, square? Okay. I think like with your body shape as well, I would try a little bit of everything. Like, you might be surprised, like a trumpet would look really good on your curves, but a princess or like a fit and flare, I would try like one of each style, just to like for sure rule out the ones you don't like. Yeah. And then of course send me pictures and I will give you my honest opinion, and you don't have to listen to me, of course, but you know, I would give you good advice. And for the dress, this is the bit that does like concern me, I suppose, is what color are you thinking? Like white, ivory, champagne, alabaster, oyster? Are you going blush? You don't know? Okay, that's fair. Well, when you do know, let me know, because the next thing we're talking is flowers, and I feel like that really influences kind of where we go with the flowers, if you know what I mean. You don't know what I mean. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you. Don't worry about it. So flowers. Yeah, my flower girl is Grace. She's fab. So we could do something like this. I would say if you're going more alabaster, or maybe even like, you know, maybe even blush with some of those goldy tones. Like, you could have little gems in, things that tingle. That would be really pretty. You can go wildflowers. We can do a few more of the dried kind of bits. Would look nice. We could get more summery ones. It really depends on where you're going with the color palette. I know you said you don't have specific colors, and I know that you think that's probably helpful for me, that you're not being too picky, but it really isn't. It really isn't. Because it's a bit too vague, honey. It's just a bit too vague. Oh, and while we're at it, I think for the bridesmaids, maybe something longer, something flowy, probably something green, but it kind of depends on what colors you choose. You could also go blue. I think blue would look nice as well. And if you're worried about them like outdoing you, we could always put them in something that's a bit more ugly, like, or simple, I guess. Something like that, you know, like they're not going to distract too much from you, just like a simple dress, and we could do different shades. Most people do not do the matchy-matchy anymore, I'm going to tell you that right now. Very few people do. Plus, if they're paying for it, you might have one or two bridesmaids that like makes a fuss about having to like buy a specific dress that doesn't look good on them, that they're never going to wear again, whatever. Okay, so bridesmaids. Okay, other unimportant people, just kidding, are the men. So you could go a lot of different ways with their things. Honestly, we'll decide that last. We'll see what's in the budget after you have finished your stuff, and we'll just get them something. Colors, it's all gonna depend on what you decide, so honestly, don't even worry about that. Makeup, I'm thinking something just really simple and sweet. Something like that. Isn't that cute? Yeah? Do like something mostly up. For the hair, maybe. You really could go one or two ways with that. It's gonna depend. Like, if you have a wedding dress with a more intricate back, obviously you're going to want everything up, but you could do something like a pretty braid where, you know, it's pulled away from the face for the most part, but it adds something to look at in the back, or you do something more up and you could add some flowers or something to it. Would be really cute. You could go half up, half down if you wanted. Yeah. I'm trying to think, is there anything I've forgotten? But you know what? I really think that might do it. I think that's good. Okay. So the next time that you and I meet, I'm going to need you to have a few things together. I'm going to need you to have gotten a few more dates for me. Like, I want to know when you're getting the dress so I can book your alterations. I need to know like where you're thinking for the venue. I'm going to send you some options, but we need a venue stat. Like, people book their venues sometimes years in advance, and like, because you're working with me, I know that we'll be able to get in anywhere. Like, so many connections. Don't even worry about it. But also, I do need to know sooner rather than later. What? No. Don't be worried. It's okay. Of course, it's your first wedding. You're going to be nervous. Trust me, I did not get the hang of it until like my third wedding. What? No, not my third wedding I planned. I mean my third wedding. Yeah, I've been married like 4 times. Trust me, it gets easier. It gets easier. Don't stress. The last thing that we need is stress, because there's a lot of things I can fix, and like the things that come with stress, like bad skin and like that kind of stuff, I can't fix that. Like I can with like a makeup artist, I guess, but like I can't fix your mind, you know. Okay. Don't worry, you've got me. I'm here to like see all the details, but there are just a few things I need you to do. So, okay, our time is just about up. I've got to get to my next appointment, but I'm going to leave you with a few things. So, these are some samples of different materials I'm thinking for the save the dates. We could even use some of them potentially for the invitations. I more just want to see like a bit more specifically what the vibe you're thinking is. Like, are you thinking more of a solid darker color, or more of like a floral pattern, or maybe even something more like a gingham? I just need your opinion. So you take these home, you think about it, you get back to me, okay? And then I also have a little bit of like dried baby's breath, so you can kind of see, like compare to it, because I'm thinking probably to do a sprig of like some kind of flower, and this tends to be one of the easier ones to dry. But compare that with like what you're thinking. And then I just wanted to make sure that you have like all my contact details. Okay, so I do have my business card. I'm gonna give this to you. It's got my email, it's got my phone number, and you know, all the rest, social media handles. You'll obviously want to tag me for everything. So that's for you as well. So you've got those. I will need to set up another, like at least 2, maybe even 3 or 4 meetings with you. It's really going to depend how much we can get accomplished in these little sessions, and then how much we communicate through like text and email. I'm a face-to-face girl though, so you know, I prefer this. Anyway, I think that's all. Do you have any questions? No? Okay, good. Well, if you think of anything, you've got my number and everything now. Just message me, and I will plan to circle back and speak to you again in probably like 2-3 weeks. Is that enough time for you? Okay. Just keep in mind, like, your date is not that far out, okay? So you do need to be thinking about these things. Okay. Of course. Alright, then I will see you in 3 weeks. We'll still meet here. Let's do 10:30 next time. Yeah, maybe then you'll be on time. Great.